A court in Florence in Italy has sentenced 4 human traffickers to long prison terms for smuggling Nigerian women to Italy to serve as sex slaves. Italian authorities opened the case based in part on work done by DW reporters who learned of the trafficking ring in Nigeria and followed the trail to Florence. Rights groups have praised the convictions as a rare success in the fight against sexual exploitations. Joining me now is Philipp Scholz. He's one of the DW reporters who uncovered the trafficking ring, but he's now in Seville in Spain. Philipp, the investigations that led to the convictions were prompted by a report that you and a colleague produced for DW back in 2016. What can you tell us about it?
I was still working as Africa correspondent based in Nigeria back then. It was a time when the topic of human trafficking and irregular migration became very big. So we suggested a series of reports following the trails of human traffickers between Africa and Europe. And shortly afterwards, we started a trip from Nigeria through the Sahara Desert all the way to southern Europe. And what proved to be very helpful is that a colleague from our partner station, Channels TV in Nigeria, joined the trip all the way to Europe because he had a very different access, of course, to the Nigerian community in Italy. And as you can see yourself in the report that summarizes the investigation back in 2016.
In 2016, DW reporters investigated along the human trafficking route between Italy and Nigeria. Starting in Benin City, where Nigerian girls are recruited. It is here that traditional priests force them to pledge loyalty to their traffickers. The migrants then pass the dangerous Sahara Desert in Niger on their way to Libya. From there they cross to Italy, where tens of thousands of Nigerians end up as prostitutes, selling sex for as little as 10 euros. After long research, one Nigerian agreed to talk to us about her madame. This is what they call Nigerian traffickers here. Under one condition, she wants to remain anonymous. The madame trafficked her to Italy to force her into prostitution.
He said we should work on the road. Sometimes when we don't work, he will beat us. It's so wicked, very wicked. I know a girl that she slapped. Now the girl is not saying well.
We traced down the madame in a suburb of Florence in a darkened apartment. A Nigerian colleague enters first with a hidden camera and under false pretense.
Good morning, good morning. How are you? Is madame around? Yes. Okay.
He meets Enoma Egonwanre and 6 female young Nigerians inside. Afterwards, we confront the alleged madame. She denies all allegations of trafficking, but constantly contradicts herself. The girls, she says, are tenants.
Oh, okay. And then they have to do prostitution to get money to live here.
I don't know. That is, they have to go outside to go and look for begging. That is what they do in Italy.
So it's a lie when they say that they are exploited.
It's a lie.
We talked to the state prosecutor about our research, who then starts to investigate and finds proof it is no lie. Because of the coronavirus pandemic, she is only able to send us a written response after the conviction.
I would like to thank you for your invaluable cooperation in the opening of the investigation, which led to the identification of a significant number of victims.
Humanitarian organizations are taking care of the victims now. It is not clear what their future will look like or if they will be allowed to stay in Europe permanently. But their time in slavery has come to an end.
And Philipp, we've seen you talking to the prosecutors there. Now, it is extremely difficult for the prosecution to get watertight human trafficking cases into court. Why is that?
The main reason is because the victims are afraid to talk. They're afraid to talk to the police, to investigators, to social workers, and they're also afraid to talk to journalists. They are afraid of the physical violence of the traffickers, but they're also afraid of the so-called juju rituals that we also saw in the report. It's basically traditional priests that are paid by traffickers and that tell the victims that something terrible will happen should they dare to say anything about their experiences. So it also took us several days and many talks with our informant to establish some level of trust and to convince her that we will really do everything possible to protect her.
And Philipp, what happened to the young woman who led you to the trafficker? Are you still in contact with her?
Unfortunately, we lost contact to her shortly after the report was broadcast. This is really a pity because I think her contribution to the whole process and her courage really can't be overestimated. With her, there might not be a conviction, and with her, a lot of women might still be in slavery. So it's really something that is very sad that we don't know about her fate, but we know about the fate of many other women that were involved in this trial, and most of them are very well taken care of by NGOs at the moment. But of course their fight continues because it's not clear if they can stay in Italy or if they might be deported back to Nigeria.
And Philipp Scholz, thank you very much.